I've shared my tips and tricks for getting my home clean naturally and also ways to keep up on these daily tasks. And no matter how many time blocks I've put in my calendar to get things clean, I oftentimes have trouble even getting started. In today's video, we're going to cover 10 ways to get motivated to keep your space and your home clean during this extremely busy holiday season. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jessica, and here on my channel, we focus on all things mom life, whether that's cooking, cleaning, or vitamins, supplements, food, and nutrients for your family. But everything we do here in my space does have a bit of a healthy twist, as I studied holistic nutrition. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, I would love it for you to join our family, and you can do that by hitting the big red subscribe button right here down below. A few weeks ago, I reached a complete breaking point with the cleanliness of our home. I was texting my husband, who was traveling for work at the time, at 4 o'clock in the morning about how disgusting our shower was and how I absolutely refused to take our stuffy nose baby in there, even though I knew it would dramatically help her. I was going on and on about the state of our home and how dirty I felt it was. First, clearly I was up at 4 a.m. and my mind was spinning. And second, this was a huge red flag that I was completely overwhelmed. If you've ever had a day like this, a moment like this, or even a thought like this, let me know in the comment section down below by giving me a hell yes or all the time, mama. Let me know if you often feel overwhelmed, because I know I do, especially trying to keep my home neat and tidy during this busy holiday season. So with long days and lots of late nights with my two very young children, my husband's travel schedule, and building a new business, it can take up a bulk of my energy, and it's easy to feel that I can't even make a dent in the state and cleanliness of my home. So clearly that leaves a lot of us mamas feeling overwhelmed. So let's dive into that a little bit. Why do we get overwhelmed? Despite wanting to have a clean home to live in, it's easy to lose motivation to actually clean it. And here are some of the most common reasons that leave us in a state of not even knowing where to start. The first being fatigue. And to be honest with you, this is completely understandable, especially if you have toddlers. Cleaning is sometimes the last thing you want to do after a long day. The next reason that I find that I particularly get overwhelmed is it seems like a really huge project. When you have a messy house, it seems like cleaning up will take forever. However, I found in reality, it doesn't even take me an hour to get everything I need done, but in my mind, I've created this story that will take hours and days to get my home up to par. The next reason I think many of us get overwhelmed is that we don't want to continue cleaning up for everybody else. When you're the main cleaner in your home, it can sometimes get absolutely tiring of picking up things for everybody else when you're not even the one making the mess. Speaking of that, that leads me to my next thought on feeling overwhelmed, and that is, I just cleaned that. How many times a day do you say that to yourself or even aloud? I put away the toys in the toy basket or the crafts in the craft container, and then all of a sudden they're being dumped out right in front of my face, and I think, why do I even bother, right? Sometimes it seems like you just cleaned something and the next thing you know, it's a complete mess again. And then the next reason, mama, is that you're extremely busy. Whether you're a working mom, a stay-at-home mom, or a work-from-home mom, you don't have a ton of extra time to run around cleaning your house. So it can feel like it's absolutely impossible to even add one more task to your to-do list. So despite all of these completely legitimate reasons for not wanting to clean, let's be honest, we still have to get it done. So now what I'm going to share with you in this video are some of the tricks that have helped me to stay motivated even when I absolutely don't want to. Okay, my first tip, and this is by far out of the 10, the most important, so you could stop watching after this tip, but I would highly encourage you not to, and that is to clean for yourself. Clean for yourself first. In every family, there's usually a tidy one and variations of less tidy ones. If you're the tidy one, you probably feel a bit resentful at times, like me texting my husband at 4 in the morning. When you feel overwhelmed, it's easy to feel resentful. So don't compare yourself to your other family members. Instead of thinking about cleaning as a chore and that no one is helping you, think about it as something that you do for you. Almost like a self-care practice, and something that you do to make your environment more enjoyable and comfortable. Once I shifted my mindset to that of like, you know what, I like to have freshly vacuumed floors, and I like to dust my mantle because it makes me feel better. I actually can work up the momentum to look forward to doing those tasks because I know how much I enjoy the outcome. The second tip I have for all of you is to start small. If you're overwhelmed by the clutter and you don't know where to start, just find one thing to begin with and one thing that you can easily check off your list. For me, an example of this is wiping down my countertops and clearing off my countertops completely. It probably takes me 5 to 10 minutes maximum, but it makes a huge impact in my motivation because I see these beautiful clean countertops and it gets me going to continue to do the bigger, more daunting tasks. My third tip is going to be to start early. If you get the worst thing out of the way early in the day, you'll be more productive and happier throughout the day. So getting cleaning out of the way early means that you'll have the rest of the day to do other things, all while enjoying your beautiful clean home. For most people, the morning is the time that they have the most energy. However, of course, find your own personal time of high energy and make that work for you and your cleaning routine. So speaking of routines, that leads me to my fourth tip, and that is to create a cleaning routine and a schedule. I have this in my Google Calendar, I have this on my phone, I have this everywhere. I have created a cleaning schedule that works for me and for my family, and it keeps me motivated. So setting aside an entire day for cleaning on the weekend may work for you. So for me, for an example, I like to set aside 15 to 20 minutes a day to do one particular task. So whether that's dust my entire house on a Monday. On Tuesday, it's to clean all of my mirrors and my sinks. On Wednesday, it's to vacuum the entire house. On Thursday, it's to change all of the sheets. I set aside these 15 to 20 minutes every day so that things don't pile up and leave me feeling overwhelmed like the entire house is filthy. Now, this 15 to 20 minutes is a block that doesn't include, unfortunately, our day-to-day tasks like sweeping and wiping down the counters and doing dishes and folding laundry, all of the things, but those things you've already worked into your daily life. So this extra block of time will really help you in working small to make a massive impact. The fifth tip I have for all of you is to make a game of it, or for me, it's more of like a competition with myself, I guess. But if you find using a timer for your cleaning blocks is helpful, you can definitely get the kids included, get yourself pumped, motivated, turn on some great music or a podcast, but set a short timer for yourself. Set that 10, 15, 20 minutes and see how much you can get done in that amount of time. I absolutely love to do this with my son who's 4.5. I will go ahead and set a timer for 3 minutes and we'll race to see who can clean up all the Legos the fastest or put away all the books the fastest. And he absolutely loves this. And so I'll set couple different 3-minute timers that all ladder up to like 9 or 12 minutes, but we will get our entire basement and playroom clean in that amount of time. And then I've also set a good example for him and I've gotten him involved. The sixth tip that I have for you is to get organized. There's nothing worse than having to run all around your house trying to find the cleaning supplies that you need. Instead, just make a quick cleaning station. I have one in our upstairs floor, I have one down here, and I have all of my cleaning products, my gloves, everything I need in one space. And so I know I can go there, grab everything, get everything clean, and put it back in its proper home. So then when it is time to clean, I'm not running around and facing obstacles that could potentially unmotivate me when all I really want to do is jump in and get it over with. The seventh tip I have for you is to listen to music or podcasts. One of the main reasons that we find it hard to get motivated to clean is because we'd rather be, doing something else. But if you listen to upbeat music or your favorite podcast or a book on Audible, you can really enjoy yourself and make it that self-care practice while you're getting things done around your house. Something that makes it more enjoyable for me, and suddenly, before I even know it, it's completely done. Okay, my eighth tip that I have for all of you is to make it a family event. And really, this can start very young for you and for your children. So speaking of getting kids involved, this is one thing we started really, really early with my son and even my daughter. 1, we led by example, and 2, we would use an excited and happy voice to say, hey, do you want to help put away the Legos? Or I loved reading these books with you, but let's see how high we can stack them in a pile. And this is something that I truly believe has helped pay dividends over the years. Now I find my son doing things like straightening up our shoes in the mudroom or completely deciding to clean our entire living room without being prompted or asked. And now my daughter is the exact same way. At 18 months, I find her putting Legos back away or putting some of our wooden blocks back in the container that they go in. She has seen us do this day in and day out, so she knows it's part of her routine. So simply making it part of their routine. And there is, of course, days and challenging times where they don't want to do it or get behind it, and that's where making a game of it truly comes into play. But making it a family event and part of the routine early on is something that I feel is our responsibility as a parent to teach them these vital skills. My 9th tip for all of you is to keep the end in mind. It's easy, very easy to get discouraged when we have to clean and we don't want to. But to stay motivated, keeping those end results in mind is really, really helpful. Think about how nice it will be to relax in your beautiful clean space, how much less stressed you'll be at the end of the night if you did clean up all of the play area toys and your kitchen, how beautiful it will feel to walk down in the morning and see a beautiful clean space. All of these things keep me motivated. Nothing is worse for me than coming downstairs in the morning, seeing toys all over the floor and dishes all over my countertop. I already feel stressed out at 5:05 in the morning. Keeping the end result in mind is really all I need for the motivation to just rip off the Band-Aid and get it done. The 10th and last tip I have for all of you is to reward yourself. So after I finish cleaning the kitchen and any last things that I need to put away, after I put the kids to bed, I always reward myself with a cup of tea. It's a little warming, comforting reward that I truly look forward to. And many of times that does go in hand with a little bit of Real Housewives or scrolling through my Instagram feed. These are the little things in life, you guys. And we really need to harness them to use them as motivation, because life may seem mundane and a bit like Groundhog's Day every single day. But if you use this little bit of motivation and rewards, it helps out in our everyday mama life to realize we're making an impact. And honestly, we're just doing the best that we can. So I hope that you're feeling motivated after this video. And if you are, it would mean a lot to me if you would give this video a big thumbs up. And then be sure to let me know in the comment section down below. What are your absolute favorite tips to get you and your entire family motivated to keep the house clean and tidy? And if you enjoy this content, I would really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button over here on the screen. That way you don't miss a single upload. And I'll be sure to see you back here next Thursday.